back-to-back-to-back Buckeyes, sort of, in the NFL draft tonight. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com along with Stephen Means. This is kind of our live NFL draft reaction and a flurry of activity. We just saw Garrett Wilson go number 10 to the New York Jets. We saw the New Orleans Saints trade up to number 11 and take Chris Olave. And then right after that, the Detroit Lions, maybe the most surprising of the three, trades up to take Jameson Williams at number 12. And that's the three starting receivers from Ohio State's 2020 national championship season. Now, obviously, Jameson Williams was the third of those three and then became less than the third of those three in the next offseason, which is why he went to Alabama and had the breakout season that he did. But this is still something that is going to get spun as Brian Hartline, Ohio State, had all three of these guys in their room at the same time and helped all three of these guys be top 15 picks in the NFL draft. What do you think that exposure means for Hartline, means for recruiting, means for the Buckeyes?
Brian Hartline has a Joe Burrow now. I mean, the quarterback room already had one with the Wade Haskins and Joe. Now he has one as well, who also went to the SEC. I think, you heard Mel Kiper, as soon as the Jameson Williams pick happened, he was hyping up Brian Hartline. There are NFL players who were saying that Brian Hartline should be up for a head coaching job and all that stuff. The thing is, the reputation was there already, right? It's necessarily a boost in his reputation. He was already getting elite top 100 wide receivers every year. And so whether Jameson Williams would have went 12th or Jameson Williams would have went 22nd, this draft was always going to be seeing the other side of the Brian Hartline Ohio State football assistant coach experience. We've seen that he can get them in here. We've seen that he can develop them to be elite college football players. Now he's got first round draft picks on his resume with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. The fact that Garrett is what he is just adds to that. I think more than anything, though, it kind of leaves this what if on the 2020 season, especially now that we've seen how the 2021 season played out, where it wasn't just a Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave show. Jackson Smith, the Jigba got involved. Ohio State had 14, 15 games to work with. The way we talked about in 2021, could Ohio State have 3,000-yard receivers in one season? Could that have happened in 2020? And then now, 2 years later, we're talking about a situation where for the first time in the modern era of the NFL draft, one team has 3 first-round draft picks at wide receiver.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot more about this on the Buckeye Talk podcast. We're recording one tonight that'll be up Saturday morning. But I've been thinking a lot about 2020 the last couple of days, and it's not as if Jameson Williams, because I think he technically only started 5 or 6 games that year because Ohio State used a lot of 12 personnel, double tight end situations. And in those cases, Garrett Wilson, even though he was a slot guy, was staying on the field. So Jameson Williams didn't play the snaps that a third receiver would, or that a third receiver did in Ohio State's offense last year. The tight ends were a bigger part. They didn't really get more targets, but just that they were on the field and Jameson Williams wasn't. And that wasn't going to change in his favor in 2021 either, which is why he moved on to Alabama. But I think the fact that you're right, that if Jameson Williams going in the first round was going to happen, and no matter what point it did, that was going to enhance Hartline's reputation. But I think the surge that happened tonight, Wilson already being off the board, and then a team trading up because it had to get Olave, and a team trading up because it had to get Jameson Williams. I think those things in combination, it do enhance it a little bit more. I think you have to kind of have these moments and then seize them. And the moment was already there. And then this kind of creates another moment. It's another big splash that Ohio State gets to have. And this is going to be the smallest draft class for Ohio State in a few years. They're probably only going to have 7, maybe 8 guys if Master Teague sneaks in. And, but the star power is still there. You're still getting premier guys, the second and third skill position guys off the board tonight were Ohio State guys, and then again after that, a guy with an Ohio State connection.
Yeah, I think it's the Ohio State's 2020 receiving core were 3 of the 4 first wide receivers taken off the board. Oh yeah, plus the best wide receiver in the country coming back in college football, and the favorite for the Biletnikoff Award is from Ohio State as well. All of that being a thing is like, wow, Brian Hartline, if he wasn't already the most famous wide receiver coach in college football, he definitely is now. Now the question is, from a recruiting standpoint, hi Carnell Tate, hi Brandon Ennis. Bryson Rogers is already committed. Yeah, Bryson Rogers is already committed, but like, hi all you other 5 stars who were thinking about Ohio State. Like, Who knows? Well, who knows what happens over the next month coming off of that? As we're sitting here looking at Nathan's looking at a TVC. Who else got drafted?
I was just seeing that the Eagles traded away their 18th pick to get
Yep.
AJ Brown. So that was a team that people thought some of these receivers were going to go to. And because the Saints and Lions jumped up, they weren't still there for the Eagles. So now they're going another route to get somebody to try to help out their receiving core. Much more about this on Buckeye Talk. Find it wherever you can find podcasts and get the text 614-350-3315. News and analysis all year long. Ohio State football from Buckeye Talk.